Now, here in the UK, South Wales Fire and Rescue Services are saying that they're carrying out rescues, evacuations, welfare checks, and they're moving residents in Monmouth because of widespread flooding caused by Storm Claudia. These are the latest pictures from Monmouth in Wales that have come into us here at the BBC. People are being urged to avoid the area. More than 35 flood alerts and warnings are in place across Wales. And towns flooded, a really difficult situation there, as you can see. Now, a severe amber warning for rain was in place until the early hours, with some areas seeing one month's worth of rainfall in just one day. So these are the latest images from Monmouth, where a major incident has been declared following that severe and widespread flooding. Well, our reporter Barry Caffrey has more on this.
This was the scene yesterday evening on Penarth seafront in South Wales, just a couple of hours since the Amber Alert came into force. And this was the scene in Cardiff, where flash flooding under a railway line led to cars swimming, submerged in water. The village of Ewis Harold in Herefordshire was flooded after a local brook burst its bank. As a result of Storm Claudia, it's thought that some areas in the Midlands and in Wales saw a month's worth of rainfall yesterday. And while the yellow and amber weather warnings officially came to an end at 6 o'clock this morning, more rain is expected today. And there's a warning of travel disruption. National Rail says delays and cancellations are expected across the weekend. Rail passengers have been warned to check before they travel, with a risk of flooding on the tracks and strong winds damaging trees and overhead power lines. The Environment Agency said ongoing flooding was likely to continue. And while the rain warnings have come to an end, a yellow cold health alert has been issued for next week for the Midlands and large parts of the north of England. It's in place from Monday morning and will last 5 days.
Barry Caffrey with that report. And as we just show you again those images that have come into the BBC from Monmouth in Wales, I can tell you that the South Wales Fire and Rescue Service say they have dealt with at least 82 flooding incidents in the Monmouthshire area, but they believe that the number is likely to be much higher, as many calls have been dealt with by fire crews at the scene. Therefore, they've just not gone through the control room. And we know that the major incident was declared in Monmouth at around 1:30 in the morning. Most of the flooding incidents have been in Monmouth and Abergavenny and the surrounding areas. Crews are dealing with ongoing rescues and evacuations, and there's actually concern now about the high tide at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So the situation there ongoing, and of course we'll continue to monitor it. Marjorie Taylor-Green. Now, here in the UK, South Wales Fire and Rescue Service has declared a major incident in Monmouth because of severe and widespread flooding after Storm Claudia. People have been advised to avoid the area, to keep routes clear for the emergency services. Well, 4 severe flood warnings remain in place in Monmouthshire, meaning that there's significant risk to life and disruption is expected. From there, my colleague Will Vernon reports.
This is Monmouth, Lower High Street.
In the dead of night, a deluge surging through this town. When morning came, Monmouth town centre was underwater. Fire crews soon declared a major incident. Dozens were brought to safety after becoming trapped in their homes.
It was terrifying. I've been awake all night. Luckily they slept, and I got woken up by a really loud noise, and I couldn't see anything out the window because it was dark, but I got a torch and I shone it, and I just saw like a torrent of water.
I don't know if you see, but my side doorway has been smashed by the waters.
So that doorway's been smashed by the force of the water?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been knocked over.
Well, the floodwaters have subsided a little bit, but as you can see, large parts of the centre of Monmouth are still underneath this brown, muddy lake of water. And you can actually see over here how high the floodwaters got when this torrent rushed into the town overnight. And locals here have told us about the force, the power of this water that broke in some of the doorways of the shops on this street.
The fire service say the floodwaters pose a real danger to residents and are warning people to stay away from the area.
The amount of water that was moving through the river, it's very fast flowing, very high risk were someone to enter that water. So again, we would just reiterate for people to please stay away from the water, not to be wading through flood water.
Homes, businesses devastated by this flood. But the focus here is still on the rescue operation. Later, the clean-up will begin.
Will Vernon with that report, and we can actually cross over live to Monmouth to speak to Will, because Will, there where you are, we can see the situation's bad. A major incident's been declared.
Yeah, that's right. A major incident was declared this morning once it became clear really the scale of what happened here, because this torrent of water really rushed through the town without any warning at all. One resident I was speaking to on this street said that the first thing they heard was when all the alarms started going off in the shops and the businesses in this area. And the lady that you saw in my report there, Helena, she said that she just heard this almighty bang in the middle of the night and she managed to grab a few belongings, run upstairs. She said it was absolutely terrifying. She dialed 999 and lots of other people here have also been dialing 999, and that is becoming a bit of a problem for the fire service, who said that they're receiving a huge amount of calls from people who are still stuck in their homes and businesses here in Monmouth. So the fire service really have a really difficult job here. And of course, the rescue operation continues. Local residents still being taken from their homes and taken to a local leisure centre and a library too, where they've been provided with shelter.
Yeah, a grim situation. And what's the picture across the rest of the country?
Well, there are 4 severe flood warnings still in place here in Monmouthshire and 4 other flood warnings across Wales and 58 across England. Of course, this is all the after effects of Storm Claudia. The main issue is that rain, those volumes of rain. Roads have been affected and rail as well. There have been delays and cancellations on Avanti, West Coast, West Midlands Railway, Transport for Wales, lots of other rail operators as well. And people are being urged, passengers are being urged to check their journey before they travel today.
Yeah, wise words. Will, as always, to you and the team there, thank you so much. Will Vernon in Monmouth. Much more updates on our website as well with that ongoing incident.